Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo están todos? Bienvenidos a mi canal. Soy RoyPlay. Antes de comenzar, quiero comentar que estamos volviendo a traer videos y transmisiones en vivo. Y si me ven que estoy un poquito nervioso, es porque todavía sigo en recuperación. Pero no se preocupe que aquí traigo nuevamente videos y transmisiones. Y el día de hoy pues vamos a continuar con nuestra gran aventura de Genshin Impact. Si no vieron el episodio anterior, vayan a verlo antes de ver este gran video. Y si es la primera vez que me ven en mi canal y les gustan mucho los vídeos que hago o las transmisiones que muestro, les invito a dar al botón de suscribirse, activar esa gran campanita para que YouTube les notifique de cuando subo vídeos o cuando hago transmisiones en vivo. En el capítulo anterior vimos cómo íbamos a planear nuestro plan para que no nos capturasen y viniese algún vendedor en el desierto. Así que hoy vamos a continuar con ese entrenamiento y a ver qué va a ocurrir a continuación. Ahora sí, dicho todo esto, comencemos.
Further? But Paimon can't go another step. How about we rest here for a while? It's probably about time for us to head back to the auction. Let's go. Maybe Cyno's finally found some leads. Oh, looks like Cyno caught someone. So you're the bad guy behind all this, aren't ya? All right, tell Paimon everything you know.
I didn't act immediately when he showed up. Rather, I laid low and observed for a while instead. He is not the primary instigator, but he is most likely one of the more important dealers here. Am I right?
Yes, impressive. You certainly live up to your reputation, Cyno. If I had any idea you were still around, I wouldn't have gotten so greedy.
Huh? Greedy? What do you mean by that?
Once everyone knew you were coming,
Lo primero que hicimos fue a ver al vendedor y justamente no fue lo que nos esperábamos. Era otro más, pero no era el que estábamos buscando. Así que le empezamos a hacerle algunas preguntas y justamente después de que nos dio una breve explicación, pues nos llevó a su casita en la aldea Adiós, que está en el desierto, en donde nos estaba esperando una niña llamada Simi. Así que vamos a ir allá y vamos a continuar con nuestra investigación. Así que vamos a prestar atención y vamos a ver qué es lo que va a ocurrir a continuación.
Dad, you're back. Oh, we have guests? Hi there.
This is my daughter, Simin. She can be a little shy of strangers. Why don't you run along now, dear? Dad needs to talk with our guests.
Oh, okay.
Everyone knows Cyno in our business, but let me ask, who are you two?
Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler.
To be honest, I really didn't expect to see Cyno, the lone operator, working with any partners. When I saw the tracker start moving away, I assumed you had decided to just go back empty-handed. But even though you caught me, I'd still urge you to stop while you still can. You should abandon this investigation.
Why is that?
Everything from the manufacturing of canned knowledge to the sales and even splitting the profits. Every step of the process involves dozens, if not hundreds of people. Everyone will try their best to defend this industry that we've worked to build. It will be a long and difficult fight, even for you, Cyno. And even if you manage to win in the end, no one will thank you. If anything, you yourself might even feel remorse.
Everyone has their own reasons for what they do. I don't have to explain mine.
you, Dad. And for the guests, too.
Right. I forgot to offer tea to our guests. Thank you.
Don't mention it. And, I should tell you that our tea tastes kind of bitter, but I put some sugar in to make it a little tastier.
That's my girl. Do we still have any sugar left? If not, I'll buy some more next time.
Yes, we do. Okay. I'm gonna go have a rest now.
Didn't you say that everyone's in it for the massive profits? That sure doesn't seem to be the case for you.
Actually, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I was hoping to ask you for a favor. My daughter was born with a chronic disease, so she has a relatively weak heart and lungs. Even slightly strenuous exercise can cause her to faint and prove to be a life-threatening risk. That's why she never really had any friends to play with, and why she locks herself up in her room most of the time. She has to take lots of medicine, and it doesn't come cheap. As for me, I was just an average merchant. I would wake up early and travel all around to make a profit. But the Mora was still nowhere near enough. I could only watch my daughter's health deteriorate day by day. Until one day, someone reached out and showed me a way to really make a profit.
Selling canned knowledge?
That's right. With all the Mora I made, I could finally afford medical treatment for my daughter. Nothing made me happier than seeing her get better. There are many others like me. Smuggling canned knowledge might seem like an unforgivable crime to you, but to us, it's a means of survival. I wanted to tell you all this so that maybe you could understand and change your mind. Please, stay out of this, Cyno. Give us a way to survive.
Oh no. That means that if we prevent the sale of canned knowledge, his daughter will...
I must get to the truth. I can find someone to help treat your child, but I cannot turn a blind eye to the smuggling. These are two completely different issues.
I somehow knew you would say that. But having your word to help my daughter is enough for me. Since you insist on continuing the investigation, you should have a look around the back of my home. You'll find some goods I received just recently. I think everything will become clear to you once you see them.
Whoa! Look at all of this!
Yes, all neatly packed away and organized in boxes. To think that this is only one dealer's worth. Small producers couldn't possibly support such a large quantity of goods. Could the academia have a hand in this? But such a volume of goods wouldn't be able to slip through inspection.
Huh? Look! These seem different from the other knowledge capsules we've seen. Maybe they contain knowledge about the Court of Desolation.
Yes, that would make sense. Wait, what's this? Yes, it's a Matra seal, indicating that the goods have passed Matra inspection. I started to suspect that someone in the academia might be involved when I found the tracker earlier. But how they could ship so much canned knowledge out of the academia was still a mystery. The pieces have now all fallen into place. With this Matra seal, goods can leave the academia without undergoing a second inspection. No wonder they don't want me to investigate. It turns out that a Matra is behind this. Even I find it hard to believe. Could I ask you for a favor, Traveler? Since all this canned knowledge came from the academia, then it's highly likely that the knowledge regarding the Court of Desolation originated from research files stored within the academia. If we can enter the repository, we can find out who accessed these files. But considering my current status, if I suddenly show up at the academia now, it will only draw unnecessary attention. You'll need to be the one who checks the records. I'll write a letter to Nabil, and he'll take you there.
Sure thing. Leave it to us.
I'll also keep working here in the meantime. Although our leads are all currently pointing to someone within the academia, it's obvious that they also have power outside of it. We can get more information on other dealers from Bahari. I'll stay here and make some preparations. You can come find me anytime if you uncover more info.
Hello, we meet again. Have you managed to find Cyno? If so, how's he doing? I read the letter, and must admit that I hadn't expected things to be so serious. Sorry. Had I known it would be so dangerous, I never would have gotten you two involved.
It's alright. We wanted to help Cyno too.
I can tell that he really trusts you. The research files stored away in the restricted repository are far from ordinary. Everything there is essentially about dangerous research that's forbidden by the academia. Even I don't usually have authorization to enter. But with this letter from Cyno, it shouldn't be a problem.
Después de que nos pidieran que veamos su el patio trasero de su casa, del vendedor, pues regresamos nuevamente a la ciudad Sumero y le fuimos a contar a Nami, que fue uno de los que estaba investigando, para explicarle lo que estaba aconteciendo. Y justamente cuando llegamos allá le entregamos una carta, así que ya nos va a llevar a una cámara secreta donde había algunos libros especiales que se supone que no debemos entrar allá porque son un verdadero misterio o son investigaciones prohibidas, por así decirlo. Así que vamos a ver en esa cámara y vamos a leer algunos libros sobre lo que es la Corte de Desolación, para que ya le expliquemos a Cyno qué es lo que debemos de hacer a continuación. Así que vamos a ver y veremos qué es lo que nos cuenta allá en esa cámara. Así que vamos para allá.
So this is the restricted repository. I never thought I'd see the inside of it. This is a first for both you and me.
There are many who do not openly converse with others within the academia. But even so, there are very few who I feel could be trusted with a real secret. Cyno happens to be one of them. Even though he's no longer in the academia, I still trust him. And that goes for anyone he trusts as well. The files are over there. Just make it quick.
Whoa, there's a lot to read here. Have you found anything yet? Huh, it reminds Paimon of Cyno's former partner.
His former partner? That would be Taj Radkani. But you're not far off. Mortada Radkani was Taj's only son.
What? Taj's son went to prison for researching the Court of Desolation?
Why do you sound so surprised? You're a Matra, aren't you?
It's just that they arrested him in secret, so it was never publicly known. All I knew was that Taj's son was taken to prison. It's not just me. I bet even Cyno didn't know about it.
No. Unfortunately, there isn't. He took his own life not long after he went to prison. You've heard about Taj, right? I know Nabil has. Every Matra knows him. I would say he's probably pushing 50 this year, which makes him one of the most experienced Matra. He is a man of integrity and honesty, and has made countless achievements. He used to be Cyno's only partner. Taj is also skilled with the polearm, so the two of them used to practice together when they weren't out on a mission.
Ah, right. I heard Cyno mention that before. But one day, Taj suddenly decided to retire from active duty and transfer to an administrative position. I wonder if it had anything to do with the Mortada incident.
Taj was already very well known by the time Mortada was born. So when Mortada came to study at the academia, everyone had high expectations of him. He had to face a lot of pressure. Then he had an unpleasant dispute with his father, but they were eventually able to work things out. Not long after they had reconciled, Mortada was caught studying the Court of Desolation, which is in violation of academia rules. Taj arrested his son and put him behind bars. He begged for leniency, but Taj wouldn't agree. Shortly after, Mortada slit his own throat with the pieces of a broken bowl. By the time Taj arrived at the scene, it was already too late. He never had a last chance to see his son. Since then, Taj has been periodically coming to the repository. He'll hold the files from his son's research with a remorseful look on his face. I guess that's why he chose to move to administrative work.
I had no idea that happened. That must be really hard for Taj. I've never heard him mention that to anyone.
That's awful. Paimon feels terrible now. Are you okay, Traveler?
Wait, don't tell me you're starting to suspect Taj now. Impossible. Taj would never do that. I mean, yes, he does have a big reputation and has access to such research, but this is Taj we're talking about. He would never do anything against regulations. Never.
But if you claim that the canned knowledge was originating from the academia, then Taj is indeed a suspect, because he was the only one who could have recently gone through research files about the Court of Desolation. There are so many files about those ruins that it would be difficult to restart any research, since the 7 original researchers were put behind bars. It's hard enough just trying to make sense of these files. However, if the files were made into canned knowledge, they could be understood immediately. By doing so, one could restart the research outside the academia without anyone ever noticing.
But even so...
According to the legends, the treasures inside the Court of Desolation could allow someone to see beyond life and death, or even bring the dead back to life, right? So maybe Taj is trying to bring Mortada back. Though I don't really believe Taj would ever try to do something like that. I'm just telling you what I know. It's the job of the Matra to find the truth and track down criminals. Do you have any questions? If not, it'd be best if you would leave now.
Paimon's kinda confused. What should we do from here?
Oh, now that I think about it, Cyno suspected that the canned knowledge was coming from within the academia, right? There's no way so many boxes could ever get through without drawing any attention. Maybe we could try asking people around the gate of the academia and see what we can find. Don't worry, Taj. I won't let your reputation be tarnished.
Alrighty then, let's go ask around.
Excuse me, have you seen any large shipments of goods leaving the academia recently?
Huh. Well, yes, but isn't that pretty normal? The academia consumes so many resources each day, everything from cooking ingredients, raw materials, even equipment for experiments. It's normal for goods to be coming in and out.
Right, but we're looking for shipments with a Matra seal. Have you seen any like that?
That I'm not too sure of. I normally wouldn't notice whether the goods have any seals or not. Maybe you should ask someone else.
Excuse me, have you seen any large shipments of goods leaving the academia recently?
No, not that I'm aware of. Perhaps you could ask someone else?
Excuse me, have you seen any large shipments of goods leaving the academia recently?
Huh? Why do you ask?
I'm just checking to ensure nothing unusual has happened.
Well, I can't say it's unusual, but I did notice something. There's a Kashar researcher who's been making frequent shipments recently. Dozen of large boxes each time, if not more. When I asked him about it, he said they just contained a bunch of old worn-out machines. The Kashar used to often sell scrap machines to traveling merchants, so I didn't really think anything of it. But he's been making a lot of shipments lately. There weren't ever so many outdated machines before.
And you didn't find that suspicious? Why didn't you report it for inspection?
Well, the boxes were stamped with a Matra seal. Why should I bother? Of course, I did start to wonder about the seal once, thinking that maybe they forged it or something. But you know what happened? A man named Taj came here and told me that he'd already inspected the goods personally and ordered me to leave the researcher alone. I couldn't question his word, could I?
Impossible. There must be some sort of mistake. There's no way Taj would ever... No, I won't believe it. Taj is an honorable man. Someone must be trying to frame him. Wait, I know another Matra who works with Taj. I can ask him to let us speak with Taj.
As I've already told you, I don't have any way to contact Taj. A few Eremites showed up looking for Taj yesterday, and he met with them in his office. I was standing outside of the door, and I vaguely heard them say, "Found it." Before I realized it, the door opened, and Taj left with the group of them. I noticed that he had also changed into Eremite attire. But Taj didn't come to work today, so I've also started to feel a little concerned about the whole thing. If you'd like to speak with him, maybe you can try visiting his home.
A group of Eremites? Could Taj really be the one making all the canned knowledge?
No way. Taj is just like Cyno. They're considered heroes among the Matra. There is no way that he would... Fine. Looks like there's no other choice.
Hey, don't let it get to you just yet. We'll get to the bottom of this once and for all.
So, this is Taj's place. There doesn't seem to be anyone here.
Well, what should we do then? Do we break in?
No. Wait, the door's unlocked. Did Taj leave in a hurry? Well, anyway, we're still not sure if he's the real culprit. Probably not a good idea to go in without permission. You're right. Even if we apply for a warrant now, we won't be able to do anything until tomorrow at the earliest. This is an emergency. I just hope Taj doesn't mind. What's this?
It's a paper full of names written on it. Oh, and a map. Nabil, can you make any sense of this?
Yes, this is definitely Taj's handwriting. These papers look like records. These are the transactions between Taj and some other people. From the look of the numbers, the scale of this smuggling case is absolutely massive. The whole operation involves more than
Una vez
200
que
people,
salimos
including dozens of
de la
celebrities.
cámara, fuimos a preguntar a algunas,
Merchants, mercenaries.
personas en los alrededores de la ciudad, y una vez que recapitulamos la información, algunas personas dijeron que obviamente sí habían visto mercancía, pero no era nada que estuviese inusual. Pero justamente entre llegamos con el último, pues nos dice que vio algo raro, como que haya tenido un sello, pero no quiso prestar atención, así que ya una vez con ese sello, pues entendimos justamente que el conocido como Taj estaba involucrado de alguna manera con la Corte de Desolación. Así que una vez recapitularon estos datos y me entrevistaron a la gente, regresamos con Cyno a contar lo que habíamos investigado. Ya una vez con eso, nos encaminamos justamente para buscar la cámara de la Corte de Desolación. Y una vez adentro, empezamos a hacer la última investigación. Así que vamos a ver qué es lo que encontraremos en esa pirámide de la Corte de la Desolación que estaba escondida en el desierto. Así que Vamos a
That's
disfrutarlo
also
y
why I need to see it.
veremos qué no te
I must ask his reason
veremos allá
Time is ticking.
en esa pirámide.
Let's go.
Así que vamos para allá.
So this is the Court of Desolation. Are there really any treasures buried here? Oh, Paimon's kinda nervous. Could it be dangerous?
Don't worry. You'll be safe with me.
These walls have definitely seen better days. Was there some sort
Una
of-
vez que encontramos la pirámide, nos adentramos allá y tuvimos que hacer algunos puzzles y enfrentarnos a algunos enemigos.
Be careful.
Y justamente cuando abrimos la última puerta, nos encontramos con Tash, que era un conocido de Cyno. Y vamos a prestar atención porque van a tener un diálogo muy interesante entre ellos. Así que vamos a prestar atención y vamos a ver qué es lo que va a ocurrir.
Tosh.
Ah, Cyno. It's been some time since I've seen you last. I trust you are doing well. Seeing that you've made it all the way here, you must be on the cusp of wrapping up your investigation, I presume. Even faster than I expected. Is it because you have some new partners now?
That's right. This case is nearly closed. But the most important answer still eludes me. Was it all your doing? Smuggling the canned knowledge? The research of the Court of Desolation?
Yes, it was me.
Then explain why.
That's the difficult part. Let's just say I've changed. I've become a selfish coward who only wants to pursue his own interests.
I find that hard to believe.
Oh, really? Way I see it, every person will end up like me sooner or later. When you're young, you press forward, unattached, living solely for the justice in your heart. But as you begin to age, you start to become more cautious. You know many things are wrong, but still turn a blind eye to them. I was the same. I never questioned my actions until Murtada died. I could feel the justice that I once strived to uphold slowly crumbling in my heart. I was completely dedicated to all that I did, but as I grew older, I found myself feeling alone, miserable. Can you imagine what it feels like to not have the will to live, but not be able to die? Murtada was sent to prison by my own hands. I set myself on this painful path. My son hated me till the day he died, and now I must live with that pain and regret. I failed him as a father. But now I have a chance to make it right. A chance to reunite with him. The Court of Desolation. Here lies the key to overcoming life and death. The power to even bring the dead back to...
So, did you already find what you needed here?
See this door behind me? Behind it lies the treasures that I seek. I'm so close, Cyno. If only you hadn't arrived now, I could already have...
Enough conjecture. What has happened is already part of the past. You cannot bring the dead back to life. In the end, the treasures you seek are nothing but myths and legend.
Since you're so sure, why don't you just let me open the door and see then?
No. I sense danger behind that door. There will be dire consequences the moment you open it.
I beg you, as an old partner, can you let me fulfill my last wish just this once? Surely you get it by now. Doing your job without mercy will only drive people away from you. I'm the prime example.
después de un diálogo breve, pues prepárense porque ya viene el enfrentamiento con Tash, así que vamos a ver este gran enfrentamiento y veremos si somos capaces de derrotarlo. Así que vamos a disfrutarlo y ojalá que sean de su agrado. Así que vamos para allá.
This power is mine. I will set things right no matter what it costs.
Tough crowd.
Dad, why are they so strict with me? I'm always the only one who gets in trouble.
Just leave me alone! Don't worry, I won't damage your precious reputation.
All right, Dad. Let's start over. By the way, I finally found an area of research I wish to pursue. Why can't you show even a little leniency? Why?
Because we are Matra.
Trying to single-handedly bring 300 people to justice must feel pretty exhilarating. But I can assure you this is certainly not the best solution.
I'm aware. However, I learned something unexpected during interrogation. Apparently, someone had enticed Murtada Radkani into becoming interested in researching the Court of Desolation. Murtada had lived in his father's shadow all his life. Naturally, he wanted to conduct research that would seem groundbreaking and significant. After Murtada died, the organization tried to use Taj's shame regarding his son to add him to their ranks, toying with others' minds, treating lives like dirt, and doing anything for their own interests. This makes me angry.
Fine, I understand. This is a type of trap I've been working on which uses plants. Here, take some just in case you need them next time. If thrown into the mud, the trap will grow rapidly and disperse a pollen that has a paralyzing effect. I don't have much use for the traps these days, but maybe you will and can help me collect more testing data.
Cyno! Tighnari! Oh, so Tighnari must be who Nabil saw earlier. Are you also here to see Cyno?
That's right. Cyno asked me to collect some medicinal herbs to treat a girl named Simin. I also dropped by just to check for any injuries. He seems to be fine physically, but he looks a little more lonely than I remember. And Cyno, relax. You don't always have to look so serious, you know? Why don't you play more Genius Invocation TCG? Kale has always been a little wary of you, and your stern expression certainly isn't helping.
How is Kale these days?
She's grown a bit taller, but her grades could use some improvement. She still made many mistakes on her last test, even after I had marked all the important content in the book for her. After some time, I plan on having her go outside more. It just so happens that I have something she can help me with.
Huh? You mean Kale is leaving Avidia Forest? What happened?
I've asked her to host some ad hoc lectures to teach the dangers of canned knowledge, as well as how to use it safely. Although we've apprehended all the criminals behind the recent smuggling case, there are many people who are still curious and seek after canned knowledge. So I decided to ask her to work
Pues
on
una
increasing
vez
knowledge and awareness on
que
the topic.
pudimos derrotar
Please be sure to keep
a
an eye on
Tash,
I will.
la pirámide se empezó a derribarse, así que tuvimos que huir de la zona.
I've already caught those who were preparing to attack
Y
you in secret.
justamente
Even if
lo
some
último
criminals did
que
slip through our
que
fingers,
dijo Cyno
they
fue
wouldn't know that you were involved in the case.
de que
So you can
no
relax.
había manera de convencer a Tash,
It's
así
still not
que
time for me to rest yet.
lo dejamos en la
Those who died have
pirámide
fulfilled their
para que
wishes.
descanse
Those who are alive
en
must
paz.
continue pressing
Y ya una vez con
I've
eso,
been
pues
thinking about what Taj said in the Corte de
huimos de
Desolación
la
these last few days.
de la cueva, que ya se estaban viniéndose abajo. Ya una vez que salimos
And no belief can
de
completely resist the
la
erosion
pirámide,
of time.
pues
I
regresamos
just hope my own
nuevamente a
change will
un
come
poblado
soon,
en las afueras
so that I can press on a little further.
del desierto.
Those who see me as their superior, and those
Y
who are
empezamos a
following in my
hablar con
footsteps, just as I
con
gained
Tanani
courage from my
y
own
explicarle
survivors
sobre la
and
situación.
my partner.
Así que ya una vez que hablamos con él,
I'll be
pues
fine.
ya
I'm also enjoying my chat with you right now.
después
There are many
de
things I
nuestro
feel
grano Cyno de que
once I start
lo
to
hayamos
talk about
ayudado
them.
con la
Many
investigación.
people want to go to the
Y ya
desert
con
to
eso,
offer
pues
condolences
ya estaríamos
for Taj.
terminando
I
el
can
episodio
share
de
details
hoy.
with anyone.
Muchísimas gracias por haberme
I prefer to
acompañado.
avoid revealing
No
the
se olviden
location
de
of the Corte de
suscribirse,
Desolación.
darle
One
un
day,
buen like, compartir
some
este
flowers
gran vídeo con
that grow
todos
in
sus
arid
compañeros.
desert conditions.
Dejar en la caja de los comentarios qué les pareció este grandísimo juego.
And planting
Y
them
nos
on the
veremos
remains of the Corte of
en la
Desolación.
siguiente transmisión. Gracias y hasta pronto. Chao.